Ready? This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and today's call is about Facebook. So I was looking on the little GoToMeeting panel there, and I recognize some of you, but not all of you. So if you would, I'd really appreciate it if you could let me know, have you run ads on Facebook before? Are you just getting started? Are you new? Are you looking for listings or buyers or just overall business? And I've got this article up here that Scott did last week about Facebook advertising. Just put your answers there in the chat panel, and that'll just help me sort of make sure we focus on the right things. And this dominate, Facebook in your farm area it's basically what our clients are really getting great benefit out of. And we're going to talk about the two basic things. But I want to kind of speak to you about the broader strategy, which isn't just like how to copy and paste this link and put it here and what to click here and that, because we're going to get into that. But the strategy of Facebook is that this is the one place where you can send online ads out into your market by zip code or by city, right? And when you want to target your farm markets, usually you're doing that with print, and print is great. It's better when you incorporate our tools. But Facebook is super powerful and super cheap and very easy. And there's two things you want to really focus on when getting involved with Facebook. The first thing is to let the market know you're a real estate professional, okay? And I'm going to show you some tools to do that today, right? But that really is speaking to the fact that, hey, I'm associated with homes that are coming soon, just listed, open houses, just sold, under contract. Right? Virtual tours. This is how you let the market know and say, hey, I want everybody outside of my zip code within 10 miles to know that I've got these things going on. And I'm going to change that ad up every few days to let them know that I've got a lot happening in the space. You can do this, and that's like the first part of the strategy. And the second part is, let's get some really powerful tools out there designed to capture leads, both buyers and sellers. So obviously property valuation pages, we've got more than a half dozen of them, different styles, different technologies, and you want to use those to get listing leads. And again, it's one of the top ways of getting listing leads. So before I jump into the whole, how to and give you some looks, I want to kind of look at the answers to the question, which is, what's your knowledge, right? What is your knowledge of Facebook so far? And let's see here, I got a couple answers. Just starting listings to leads, yeah. Just getting started. I run them every week, but I'm having a tough time getting the amount of leads that some are getting. I'm looking for ways. Okay. That's a good, Tucker, thanks for putting that. And we'll get it, I'm gonna jump into that in a little bit here. I've marketed a couple open houses, but not listings yet. Relatively new. 6 months new to the business. That's okay, Ronnie. This stuff is powerful. If you learn how to do this, it's going to help you if you've been in this business for 20 years or for 6 months, no problem. I have run ads in the past, but have not received great response. Okay. And look for listings, have run ads, but not like. Okay. Great. Thanks everybody for giving me. I think that's good, because I think you sign up, you certainly hear about our clients that have just like awesome results, right? And I've got a lot of those people we talk with, but then of course we do these training calls, and I think there's like the nuts and bolts, how to, you sort of understand, but you got to understand a little bit of the art of it, right, and less of the science. So to get into, there's a couple things I want you to look at on this blog post, and I'm going to use this to kind of get the idea across of the many tools that Listings to Leads has. Because like I said, we want to make it really clear to your target market that you're a real estate professional. Like this little picture here that we're looking at of just listed, this could be your listing. This could be a listing you're borrowing. Your MLS may allow you to market like this. You got to check with your local MLS to market other people's listings like this. And clearly the page is designed to capture leads, right? Because right in the middle is a little, give me your information thing. When you run an ad like this, this is very important. Right now, this is on our blog page, but when you run an ad on Facebook, your little icon is going to be at the top left saying it's sponsored by your real estate page, right? And that's an important piece of the whole Facebook thing, because when you start running ads for $1 a day or $2 a day, day after day, mixing them up, people start to see your pages, right? They start to see that, oh, this person's got homes coming soon, or virtual tours, things like this. Then when you lob out something like this, which is one of our many property valuation pages, clearly designed to get listings, well, then they're more comfortable giving up that contact information, right? And this page right here, actually, I want to speak to, and because there are a lot of you here on this call, or a few of you have taken the time to say, hey, I haven't gotten exactly what I wanted. And now is the time to start thinking of, how do I fine tune the technology and make it work? And right here, hidden, is a really important piece of it right here, and it has to do with human behavior, which is get your answer in 15 seconds. I kind of highlighted it, but you can't quite see it. And what you got to remember, everybody, I mean, I know you know, if you're savvy enough to run an ad, you're savvy enough to be on the internet, and you don't like filling out forms online just as much as the next person. So what we're doing here by putting a message like get your answer in 15 seconds is we are making it clear to a consumer who has never met you that they don't need to talk to you to get this answer. They want their home valuation, and they can get it right here in 15 seconds by just knocking in their information, right? And that's the key. When here it's built into the ad, but sometimes you want to put it right in the text that you control, that people see first, so that when they know when they're going to click, they're going to give, they're going to get their answer quickly. And that's kind of it. So this is another ad, right? Another style of getting a listing page. It's called our empty nester page. We've got two empty nester pages. They kind of look the same. One has a built-in valuation from Zillow and the other doesn't. You choose whichever one you want. But clearly there are a lot of people with homes bigger than what they need today because their children have, grown up and moved out of the house. So why not target them with something designed for you that way? Here's another great thing. Again, this is really strategy here. This is really technique. Sold 120% above asking in Granite Bay. And we're getting and I'm going to point out something right now. We're going to jump on it before we get into it. If you have not, I want to know in this little chat panel, are you in our Facebook mastermind group or not? Just give me a yes or no. Because this kind of message here, sold 120% above asking price, this is the kind of information that we're learning from our clients that's working, and then we're sharing it with you. And so much of Listings to Leads is a result of great client feedback. And this kind of concept, somebody just, because we're working, this is actually part of a new landing page that we've been working on for less than 2 weeks. And if you were part of the mastermind group, you might be watching the iteration and the growth of this landing page, and where one of our agents took it, put this kind of message out there, and before she even ran the ad, just placed the ad, but didn't pay anything for it, just put it on her business page. Within an hour, had a listing lead for a home valued at $1.4 million, right? And clearly you can see the value of this kind of ad for somebody thinking of selling their home, right? And so concepts like this of 120% above price, or something like sold in 7 days, is really powerful to people, because selling a home is a scary concept. You don't want to lose money, and you want to make sure it gets done, right? Here are some other tools, right? Granite Bay Homes, again, landing pages, right? Down here, I'm not sure what we got here. Let's see. Oh yeah. So this one here is on a growing family. Do you need to move? Do you need to sell? Things like that. Free reports on HUD. So there's just a lot of different landing pages. Down payment assistance. Let's see here. That's one, and there's one somewhere for veterans. This one here, you see this picture? This is actually a video of a real estate agent talking about the loan program they have running right on the page, right? So there's a lot of ways of capturing leads, giving you the right kind of tools, and a lot of flexibility and technology, which might be really over your head most of the time. But the fact is, You've got a number of ways to get in front of the market, and Facebook is the fastest, cheapest, and easiest way to get in front of the market. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and look at the answers real quick about what's going on. Yes, yes, yes. What was my question? Oh yeah, you're part of our mastermind group. Good, good, thanks. Yeah, of the video ad. Where can you see? Oh, so okay. Where can I see a live version of this? Let me. Well, first of all, a lot of you are part of the mastermind group, and I'm happy about that, or glad and happy, as I was trying to say so quickly. I'm going to copy the link here real quickly, and I'm going to give this to you guys, hopefully in the chat panel. Let's see here. Chat. Can I? This is the link. You should have it now. To this blog post, which has all these tools, and I definitely recommend you look at it. You can see here this particular piece we're looking at right now has a video.
First, I'm going to talk to you about borrowers who want to come in with very then I'll tell you
because it's pretty loud, but that's just you know, it's just one of the many things you can do with listings to leads. Now I am going to take us over here to the mastermind group, and give me a second to find that. And you know, we get people to come and join the mastermind group. And I know you're all busy, guys, but you're on this call because you want to learn how to get more out of this platform. And I can tell you, we've got over 1,000 people of our clients on this mastermind group right now, and they're talking about what's working for them, right? And they're asking questions, and there's a lot of sharing going on, and it's just powerful stuff. So I definitely want you to get there and spend a little time there and check it out from time to time, because the thread that was going on last week that's culminated in a new tool this week is awesome. I mean, it's just awesome, that kind of collaboration, the kind of feedback. It's great, and it's turning into tools that they're not just tools for tools' sake. They're tools that are actually working. Are these templates for the ads? Yes, these are all there. So we're going to kind of jump into that now. I'm going to send this over here, and we're going to talk about listings to leads. So right now you should have two links, everybody. One to join the mastermind group, and one to see that Active Rain blog post, and I definitely recommend that you look at that blog post. And I'm going to log into my little account over here. Let's see here. Give me a second. And since some of you are new, and since I'm recording this, and somebody will probably see it who is kind of brand new to us, I want to point out a couple of deals here. Right when you log in, there's going to be a pop-up page, and we're all trained to just click out of this as soon as possible. But right here on the top is a really, really interesting video from Shannon Pyatt, who has been generating a couple hundred leads a month. So how he does that is shown right here on this video. And he's only using Facebook advertising. And at the end of this call, this is what he's telling us. And he's got his own buyer's agent, and he's been doing this with us for now 6-7 months, longer now. He only spends money on Facebook now. He only uses us and Facebook. He's getting a bunch of listing leads. I asked him on the call about the ROI. You can hear it later in the call. And he said that he's putting $300 to $500 a month on Facebook ads. He's using our tools, okay? $300 to $500 a month on Facebook ads, and he's giving all these buyer leads to his buyer's agent. And after the splits and after commissions, he's pocketing $14,000 a month, okay, off of a $500 investment. So he's getting a lot of leads, and he knows he's got to drip on the listing leads longer, so he's not really counting that. But I think that's what we really want people to be able to do and replicate, and that's why we spend so much time talking about Facebook. So watch that video if you have missed it. If you're new, this page right here, Facebook advertising, has some of the real basic, it has everything. It's even got Shannon's call on there. Shows you where to get the tools, how to get the tools, and how to run the ad. Okay, right under here, this green button. Now, I'm not going to jump into that. I'm actually going to go straight to the landing page section today. And we're going to talk first about how to run a listing lead ad, right? How to get more listings, how to get listings. Okay? So you click the landing page section, and you'll see here we've got what is your home worth? We've got growing family, empty nester. We kind of glanced at those. Property valuation plus one. This is one of the newest forms we've got. Property valuation plus is the one that people have been using a lot for a while, for a number of months. And this has its built-in Zillow valuation. This doesn't have a built-in Zillow valuation, but it looks almost identical. And then there are just different styles, right? So why I'm pointing that out, that there are different styles, is that you know that when you're running an ad or an ad campaign and you're building a business in any industry, you cannot run the same ad over and over and over. Because after the fourth or fifth time I've seen your ad, if I've clicked on it once or twice, I know now what I'm going to get from your ad, so I'm going to stop clicking on it, right? Everybody from, Geico to Budweiser knows that one. So you've got to kind of take that same concept and say, well, what does listings to leads have for me that I can use, and they can change this up to make my tools look different. And here's a different way of looking. I don't have a background, or there's my background picture, but there's a different way of getting that out, right? That's the one that we looked at on the blog space. I'm going to click this button here, go to landing page dashboard, and I'm going to click on Property Valuation Plus. Now, Property Valuation Plus is one that's been used by a lot of our clients. As I said, there's a version that looks just like this without a built-in valuation. But once you start getting the ad running right, you're targeting it right, you're using the right language, a lot of our clients are generating 50 to 100 leads over the course of 3 or 4 days, right? And if you get that many leads, you want to get as much automation going on. Many people, they want to get as much automation as possible. So I'm going to show you what this kind of looks like. And if you haven't seen it before, it's pretty easy just to grab here, right? Now, I have changed the background photo, and I want to speak, very clearly to this background photo. Because some of you are running ads with the default picture of a suburban neighborhood, and you're either getting some results or you're not getting great results. And everybody who are like top performers with listings to leads are taking a few minutes to change this background picture to something local. This is the local reservoir where everybody walks their dogs and their kids in Lafayette. You might have a local downtown street, you might have a local school or something that everybody sort of knows. And that's the first part of taking the fear away to a random consumer who doesn't know you, to say, oh, this is a local person, right? This isn't a national company I'm going to sign up for and get spammed. It's somebody that actually knows my neighborhood, right? So take a minute and get a picture that's going to take that fear away from them, okay? So I'm going to take a sip of coffee here, and we're going to jump into Facebook. And I want to point out that when you're running this ad, we don't recommend boosting. I know you can boost, and boost sort of works, but actually running the ad by creating an ad is really the better way to do it. We're going to go that route. So this is a good time while I take a little sip of coffee for you to throw your questions in here, and then we'll get those before we get into actual running an ad. Jesse has a good question. Would you recommend, can you go into Facebook from the L2L dashboard? Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. I like the questions that I've never heard before. We are in Facebook right now, and one question, I'm going to take the easy one first, is can you get straight from here to there? When it comes to a landing page section, no, you can't. And I'm going to show you how you get the tool from here to Facebook, okay? So just follow along, try not to get distracted here. Do I need a Facebook business page to run ads? Yes, you do. And then that one question is, do I need a landmark or is a local house fine? Now, the short answer is do not do one house as the background on your picture, okay? And unless you live in an area where every house is exactly the same, okay? Then that might work. But no, for most of us, there are different subdivisions and developments. Some are condos, some are, big 2-story, some are one. And if you, self-exclude people out because of the picture, you've done yourself a disservice. Yeah, don't sidetrack. Yeah, it's not relevant, Andrew. So this is, I'm gonna finish with the questions now. Thanks, guys. I'll definitely take a sip of coffee in a little bit, and then I'll ask you for some more. So here are the pieces. There is not a direct, when we're running an ad like this, there is not a direct kind of click through to get from listings to leads to Facebook. So what you do is you open up the page you want to post, like this one here. There's a URL that starts with search all properties / bunch of stuff. Copy it and go to Facebook, okay? And then on Facebook, there's this section up here. It's like a little menu navigation bar, and there's a tiny triangle pointing down. Click it, and it opens up this thing here where you can go to create ads, okay? This is what we want you to do, is create ads. We don't want you to boost posts. And I see people boosting posts, and you know why I know? Because, with listings to leads, we got friends all over the country. And when you boost a post, all your friends see it. And I've got friends, from listings to leads in, I don't know, South Carolina, Washington, D.C., Florida. And every time they boost a post, I get to see it. They don't want me to see it because I live in California and I'm not going to be buying the homes that they're selling, and I don't need a valuation there, right? So when you do it this way, by creating an ad, you control it. It's much tighter. The objective of your campaign is to send people to your website. It gives you a spot for the URL. Click in it. I'm going to right-click paste. And then it kind of gives you a blue line. Click it, and it pushes it in there. And this little wheel starts going, right? Just so we're clear, we're not sending traffic to your personal real estate website. We're sending it to our landing page, okay? Then down here, it's like edit account info. This is basics. It's kind of your profile related stuff. And here's where the money is, right? Here's where it really gets important. And so I want you to pay attention to what I'm going to say, because for those of you who are running ads and not paying attention to this, this is usually where there's two major areas where you can make mistakes, okay? Probably three. And I'm going to be real straight about them. So please listen for the next 5 minutes. This ad is in Lafayette, California, okay? So when I go here and I type in this box, Lafayette, and I hit enter, and there's California, watch what it does. Watch what it does. It says Lafayette plus 25 miles, right? That's not what you want. That is not what you want. Because plus 25 miles from Lafayette is San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, Pleasanton, I don't know, Martinez. This is not Lafayette, so now this page here is irrelevant. And if anybody sees it, it may be not a good target for my ad. So right next to the 25, you can actually click on it, and it says 10 miles, no radius. Now, I want you to remember, that 10-mile thing there is good for a different part, but not for property valuation, because this only says Lafayette, and I want to make sure that only people in Lafayette see it, so I'm going to click no radius. That means I've got to live in Lafayette, right? Now, the other thing to be paying attention to is the age. Homes are expensive in Lafayette, and I'm pretty sure nobody that's 18 years old is going to own one. And you can use your judgment. I'm just going to say 30. And that's going to, really create the target, right? Now, here's another place where people get in trouble with. There's all these groovy things you can click on in here and change the demographics and interests, and you just tighten up your net to where only one person can fit through. So ignore all of this. Your age and your location is what you need to focus on. Okay? The rest, just ignore. Now, right here, what do I spend money on? How much do I want to spend on this? And this is a really important piece here because we've got so much information, and you'll hear Shannon Pyatt say, I'm running an ad for $1 a day, and you might start running it for $1 a day, and you're not going to know why you're not getting all these leads. Okay? So let me explain to you. First of all, we usually like to see our clients run ads for 3 days at a time. If you're on our mastermind group, you'll hear some people say that the weekend doesn't work. If you're on our mastermind group, you'll hear that some people say the weekend is great. This is where you have to test, okay? And you got to see what's going to work in your market. And I've spoken to people who said, you know what? At like 6 in the morning, from 6 to 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, I get the most leads. And really, it just happens to do with your market, right? And when do people get downtime that they're actually going to sit and have, you know, a serious thought of, yeah, I want to know what my home is worth, right? So you got to kind of test out what's working better for you during the week, during the weekend. $5 a day, I'm going to recommend $20 a day. Because when I usually talk to people and they call me and they say, oh, Vince, you know, I'm not getting a bunch of leads and blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, for me, and this is what I tell them, run it on the weekend for $20 a day. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm sure, you know, Scott's hair just will curl at that thought. But I know I talk to people, when they come back to me at the end of the weekend, they get leads. And then I'll see people in the mastermind group say, oh, I didn't get anything over the weekend. And other people are saying, oh, it only works in the week. And you know why, people? Because everybody is different in this country. I don't know where you live, but you got to test out your market, okay? But minimum 10 bucks. Usually 20 bucks, 3 days. You can see here it's saying $5.99 is the tops you're going to spend. That's kind of what I'm going to suggest to you. And I'm going to spell it out to you. This is pay-per-click advertising. So for every click, you pay. And if you're a new advertiser to Facebook, if you click around, you're going to realize that you're paying 50 to 75 cents a click. So if you heard one of our little tutorials telling you to do it for $1 or $2 a day, and you're paying 50 cents a click, you're maximum going to get 4 clicks. Doesn't mean you're going to get 4 leads, just 4 clicks to the website. Okay? So that's why I tell people 20 bucks, because, you know, I know if you're talking to me, you don't want to talk to me all the time, right? You want to just get some results. And so if I tell you 20 bucks for 3 days over the weekend, usually everybody gets results, right? And that's really it. So I see some questions. Please put your questions in there as you get them. I'm going to finish this process, and then I'm going to take questions, okay? Now, it says here you can upload more images. And I recommend that because just like I was saying earlier where Geico and Budweiser changed their ads, Facebook's going to change the look of your ad if you just take a few seconds and upload a few images right here. You can put up to 6, you already get the first one. And you see here, like, here's what my ad looks like down here. So the way Facebook works is people go hit Facebook, you know, 4 or 5 times a day, maybe 10 or 20, who knows. And when they go, if they see your ad look like this, like on the bottom right, over and over, they know, oh, I've seen that. But what if the picture the next time is a really awesome luxury kitchen, and the next time is this beautiful deck, or a beautiful great room, or something like that? Well, the ad looks different. It's not like this ad's going to change and rotate pictures in front of us while I'm looking at it. What Facebook does is they say the next time this same person comes in, show them the same ad looking a different way. Okay? So I do recommend that you add some photographs there. And then here is where it really gets down and dirty. And a lot of people, you got to ask yourself this. When you're looking at the ad, you know, you run the ad and you ran it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. And Facebook gives you those analytics and says, this is what happened. A bunch of people saw it, but nobody clicked, right? So that means that they actually saw it in their newsfeed like this, but they didn't click. So there's 2 things that I think are important at this point, and we need to really be, you know, talk about them now. One is, this picture is not relevant to your market. It's not compelling. It's not pretty. And literally, being not pretty, we know, you get on that Shannon Pyatt call, the most beautiful picture he has, which is like this downtown street, and there's like cherry blossoms blooming over here. It's a gorgeous pic, right? It's a downtown little small town. It's not like it's, you know, out of an art gallery. It's just a really pretty pic of a downtown area. And he says this one gets clicked on the most. So a really good pic can really help you out. The other thing is this language here compelling enough to get me to click? Find out your home value, Lafayette home value. That's just the default thing that we give you, and many people will just run and go default, and oh, that's good. It's not good, actually. You need to take a minute, and over here where it says text, if I change this up here, up here, this language is going to change. And one of the concepts that we've heard, and I'm going to just remind you, is click here. And this takes a while because I got all this software running. Click here to get your online automated valuation in less than 15 seconds. And I want to remind you to go back to that blog post because there's a few things in there of similar of how people are changing this, right? And this language here is really compelling because I now know that if I click this, I don't need to talk to you. I'm just going to get my valuation in 15 seconds, right? And that's what everybody wants, right? I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but you know, people don't like to talk to me because I'm in sales, and you're kind of in the same boat. You can choose a button here. Learn more. It'll put a little button down here at the right. This says Lafayette Home Values. You can change it here. I don't know, you can change it to Get Value Now, right? Or leave it, whatever. But then you place the order down here, and there you go. Okay? So I'm going to remind you, make sure that picture is nice. Make sure this language gets them to click it, right? And maybe get some photos here so that it rotates and keeps that ad looking fresh. Make sure your budget is right. It's not, if you've been doing this a while and you got a consistent budget on Facebook, you're going to get really great pay-per-click rates. If you're new to this, you're not. So you got to start with 10, 20 bucks a day if you're really looking for a number of leads, right? And I'll just tell you, I tell people to do three days on the weekend, 20 bucks a day. Usually they're going to come back with 50 to 100 leads, okay? And that's, once that happens, we're all happy, right? I'm happy and they're happy, and that's good. Focus on the age, and really focus on your area, and that radius is important. This radius, no radius, is really important when the home value is in Lafayette. Okay, we can change that radius when we're trying to tell everybody that we're in real estate, but not when we're just trying to get property valuation. So right now I'm going to take some questions here, okay? Lord, really? Okay. Can we use this ad and use a different valuation site? Not really. Okay, so I guess the Zillow valuation always, you know, many people are not excited about it, and I understand that. So we've got different tools, property valuation tools, that don't have a Zillow valuation, right? When we go here to this landing page, the ones that have the word plus have a built-in Zillow valuation. The ones that don't, like property valuation, growing family, they just give them an auto thank you, right? Like auto response. And it comes from you, and they get your contact information, and you get their lead, and you can then take their information and put it in any other kind of platform you want to get them a different valuation. But you can't integrate it with our platform the way that we do it, because we just, you know, it's technology. What URL do we send it to? All right, let me just repeat it. I hope everybody's watching. There is a URL on the top of this page. Every time you click on a landing page, there is a web address at the top of the page. Okay? It starts with search all properties, copy the whole thing, and put it in there. All right? On the top of this page, there's a web address, copy the link, and put it in there. When you click on any of these buttons, you're going to have your landing pages right there. And when you click See Landing Page, it's going to bring up the page, and you can copy the link at the top, and you can put it on Facebook. Okay? I hope you got that, Mark. And I hope everybody got that, because it kind of blows me away that people don't get that one. How do we get added to the mastermind group? Chase, I did send out a link to everybody on the mastermind group at the beginning of the call. So I think if you look there, you'll find it. Otherwise, you can send me a link or an email. I'll send you another link to it. So can I find the template for sold above asking price? No, but you can find all the dialogue about that on the mastermind group. Where do you see the Facebook analytics? Good question, Christine. They will be sent to you from Facebook at the end of your Facebook ad campaign. What is behind Learn More button? That's a good question. It is a direct link to the page. Okay? So let me kind of point it out where that is, what that looks like. Because remember, you know, this is, what do you call it? Call to actions, right? Call to actions. What's going to get people to click and get off of Facebook onto your page? If they click this picture, or they click down here, or they click this, whatever they click on this ad, they're going to get dropped on this. That's what Learn More is. I have Prime Seller account. Awesome. Good luck with that. And where do I can find an ad with sold in 5 days? Yeah, go back to our mastermind group. Sorry if you said this. When they fill out their info in the property valuation, it leads them to a Zillow valuation. It does. So about half of these landing pages have a Zillow valuation built in the back. We're going to be coming out with Smart Zip. I think that's what it's called, Smart Zip, which is another kind of higher quality valuation tool built into some of these. We're still working on that. So you've either got pages with a Zillow valuation or without any valuation, just an auto response. And then soon we're going to have that other piece. Okay. Can you buy a domain like Lafayette Homes and then point the domain to these landing pages? Yeah. Yep. That's a good question. So let me see. I'm going to pull this down. So let's see here. You can see that I've got kind of an ugly URL. And Ryan's got a good question. I want a simple URL. And again, on the mastermind group, you're going to hear this said time and time again. The people are using this kind of, it's not really that important, people, when you're running an online ad on Facebook or Google, because they don't even see the link, right? They don't see this messy link. It is highly important and very valuable if you're doing a print campaign. And one of the great things, and it's on our mastermind group, is somebody made this really sweet looking just sold postcard. And there's, like, you know, their color and their logo and their number, and then there's a beautiful picture of the house. It's just a 4x6 card. And right there on the bottom of the picture of the house is a link that says, you know, LafayetteHomeValue.com. And in that kind of concept, actually I have one of our office clients did the same thing, got that clean URL, put it in a little one-page letter, sent out 800 letters, and this is from Coldwell Banker Summit, New Jersey. Their agent wanted to do this, likes to do mailers once a year to get listing leads, gets nothing out of it. And this time they said, listen, go get a URL, point it to this property valuation page, and let's see how that works. They mailed out 800 letters with a very simple URL that they bought at GoDaddy and said, GoDaddy, point it to this landing page at Listings to Leads. And with 800, a mailer of 800 got 5 listings. They got more leads, but they got 5 actual listing contracts. So yeah, definitely, Ryan, that's the way to do it. GoDaddy seems to be the easiest. Lots of companies will say you that URL. Then you just say, hey, point it to search all properties slash property valuation slash whatever, right? Just copy the link and send it over. And definitely, we're hearing really awesome things about integrating these landing pages with print. So definitely do it. Property valuation plus one was okay in Canada, and you're saying it's Zillow powered. Yeah, Andrew, I don't know. Let's if plus one is a different web form. If it's Zillow powered, Zillow doesn't work in Canada. We know that. If you buy your own URL, has anyone played with info versus? I haven't really heard anything of that. You know, there's .nets and .biz and stuff like that. I don't really know. Yeah, and I actually, the RPR story, a lot of our clients take those leads and put them in RPR because it's got a really nice follow-up system. Market leader, not market leader, what is it? Market snapshot, similar. There are a lot of tools that you have out there. We're able to get you the leads. If you got other resources to follow up, even a simple MLS listing update, right, helps. It's because when we get into lead conversion, which we're not going to be talking about right now, you got to recognize and know, and I hope you do, that not many people are going to sign up today and sign a contract with you next week. So you're going to have a conversion process. So any kind of automated information to keep your name in front of that consumer is key, right? Do you have examples? Will this webinar be replayed? I am going to put this up online, and it is going to be in our mastermind group. So definitely, check it out there, and on our public Facebook page as well. Do you have any examples of FB pages that are working for ideas? Cindy, what do you mean working for ideas? I mean, because all these pages I'm showing you right now are landing pages, and they're all working. And if you want more ideas, go to our Facebook mastermind group, because there's a ton of ideas being shared there. So what we talked about is, okay, Facebook business pages. I'll just give you my down and dirty on Facebook business pages. Don't waste a lot of money on them. I know there are a lot of companies that'll build you really fancy stuff. On Facebook business pages, 94% of people who like your page will never come back to your page, okay? So if you sink, I don't know, 300, 500, or whatever you're going to sink for somebody to build you a nice page, it's not a great use of your money. People follow your page because they want to actually follow your news. Your news will come to them when you post it. But that being said, that's why they like your page, but that's not how Facebook works anymore. Facebook is not pushing your business page content to the people that like your page anymore. They're actually telling the market 6% of the people that like your page will see it. And they're actually telling the large companies count on 0%. Okay? If you want people to, you need the Facebook business page to get this Facebook advertising. Then it reaches everybody in your zip codes or towns, and that's the power. Looking for home valuations for home value pages for ideas, I can build my own. Okay. Well, there's a home value page right here. You could build it yourself, or you could just sign up because we've got unlimited landing pages. So that is how you run ads for listings, getting listings. But when we started the call, and I was talking about how you got to have a broader strategy. And this may sound like, I know like some of you are going to just tune out right now. You actually need to build a presence on Facebook. Everybody that gets huge lead generation on Facebook has a presence on Facebook. And I don't mean they have a business page with 200 people or even 1,000 people following them. I mean that they're using tools like ours or other tools to get in front of the market to let them know. So you know how we just ran that ad and we said, everybody in Lafayette, I want to see it? Well, now, what if I have something coming soon, right? Over here it says coming soon. You can change the status here to make it coming soon. I've got AC is, what do you call that? Active contingent. And I'm going to click on the listing landing page. And you'll see that it is a coming soon landing page. The landing page does one thing, right? Get the information. But here it's coming soon. Here is active contingent, another property. different picture, right? Here is just sold. And that's the thing. You want to tell your market, and this is the default version of just sold. If you want to learn how to take that message and make it look like this cool new, page here, the instructions are right here where it says listing landing page up on the top of the column. And here's one here, and so what's nice about these is they look good and they can capture leads. These are landing pages. The landing pages, by definition, are really designed to capture leads, give a little bit of information, but sign up for more information, okay? And so we've got listing landing pages. You can do that, but also you might just want to run a single property website, right? And here's why. I'm going to click on the single property website, and some people are like, yeah, I like your open house tool. This says just sold. It'd have my picture over here. It's got all my stuff. But then it's also got some other links. If they don't want this home, they can then click a link and get off of this ad into your website, right? And that's useful. So what you're doing is you're getting in the market a bunch of tools, but this time you're not running it for 20 bucks a day. This time you're running it for $1 a day. Maybe you run it for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Maybe you're holding somebody's open house. Maybe you're just announcing an open house in your office. It's not yours, for 3 or 4 days, and it looks like this, because when you run this ad, people are going to see that it's you. So I'm going to copy this link up here. Again, it's search all properties, and I'm going to go to Facebook. And I'm going to click over here. I'm just going to refresh the page because I'm kind of stuck in an ad building mode here. And I'm going to go over here and create an ad. Let's see here. Give me a second, guys. My computer seems to be choking up. Okay, create an ad. So before we run this ad, and again, this kind of ad you can do for $1 a day, but what it's doing is it's letting everybody know you're in real estate. And if you think about it, a lot of real estate agents sign up with us because they hear about our awesome landing pages, and they grab a page for property valuation, and they huck it out there on Facebook, and they do it right, and they're a bit stunned that not a whole lot happens. And one of the things is people don't know who you are. They don't, all of a sudden, boom, there you are this weekend. I see you for the first time, never seen you, never heard you're in real estate. So, what am I going to do? Still plenty of people getting leads, but for the people that get like really consistent, great lead generation, they are building their presence on Facebook, and they're doing it in almost the exact same way. So before we do that, I am going to click this button, and I'm going to look at your questions. I have L2L. Good. Okay, well, okay, Cindy, great, because there are a lot of pages on L2L. So what we're doing here is we're sending people to our website. And we are sending them, just as a reminder, to this page. It's active contingent. This status could change to coming soon, just listed, open house, price reduced, and just sold. So you can run an ad like this at multiple stages, and we definitely recommend that you do that. So I'm going to paste that in here. And kind of the same that we did when we were running that other page, right? That other property valuation. And it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. So I'm not going to take as much time on this so that we can open it up for questions. And definitely, if you've got questions, now's the time to put them in. But the thing that you got to remember here is really the location. So I'm going to use Lafayette as my, I know it's a different town on the page, but I'm going to just say Lafayette again because I can tell you I know my neighborhood here. Okay. And again, 25 miles is a bit of a stretch, but 10 miles, I'm saying this home is active contingent. I'm saying I got an open house. I'm saying I've got something coming soon. 10 miles around Lafayette, that's relevant. That's a relevant market because right next door, 5 miles down the road is Walnut Creek. The other direction is Orinda. The other direction is Pleasant Hill and Alamo. And I want all those people to know I'm a real estate professional. And with this ad, I can let them know for $1 a day, I'm going to run it for 5 days, so that's $5. And in the end, you're probably going to get a reach of right 2 to 3,000 people. So 2 to 3,000 people who don't know you're in real estate are probably going to see this ad. Okay? So that's what you do. First of all, right there. Now again, I don't want 18-year-olds looking at this because they're not going to buy a home in Lafayette. So I might say 24. We got some Google millionaires in the neighborhood, so maybe that's good, right? Change your price. The default is $5. $1 to $2 is just fine, right? Just fine. Set a start date. Don't run this for 30 days. Just, get them out there. Get your name. Change the ads from time to time. You can, of course, change this picture here like I was talking about. I think here, this default language is not the best. There might be something really compelling about the house. And if there is, you notice that here, we've only got 8 characters. We're active contingent. There's only 8 characters left, so there's probably like 30. Up here, there's 18 more characters left. But if you click this button here that says Show Advanced Options, it actually gives you the space for 200 more characters. So if you've got some nice things to say about this home, like, I don't know, wolf range or nice kitchen or whatever that's special, get it in that box, right? And that's really going to help you out there. And then push it. So for just a couple bucks a day, and I want to point out, just in case you're not grasping this one, you see where it says sponsored by listings to leads right here? That's actually what the ad looks like. And this, in your case, is going to be sponsored by your Facebook page. And that's how people are going to get familiar with your business, okay? Some people feel like I don't want my picture there. Other people, Shannon Pyatt, the call at the beginning where I said, listen to this to Shannon, he's got his picture right there, and it's kind of called like the, I don't know, the Pyatt marketing group or something like that. And that's the key for him, and he actually says it on that call if you listen to it, where FSBO called him out of the blue and said, listen, every time I log into Facebook, I see your picture, and I want you to sell my house, right? And that's dominating Facebook. By having multiple ads talking about various listings, instead of saying listings to leads, it's going to have your concept, your business, your picture, and that's for a couple bucks a day, right? That's not a lot of money for a ton of exposure, because I don't know where you could spend $2 a day and be seen by thousands of people in your target market. So that's kind of the system there, guys. I'm going to take it open up for questions. We got a couple more minutes. Where do I go to start the ad? This ad. Well, okay. There are a number of tools. This is in order to market the fact that you are in real estate, not just property valuation. There it says single property websites. It's nice. There's a lot of lead capture, virtual tours. Most people focus on the listing landing page. This is a listing landing page, okay? And most people focus on that because it's designed to look good. It's designed to capture a lead. But many people will run things like our single property websites, especially when they're, open houses and things like that, because if the person isn't exactly interested in that home, they could click a link over here and be driven right to your website. So you've got multiple options for what to put on Facebook, right? Then once you've got the right tool, go to this page and click here, the triangle pointing down, and click create an ad. That's what you do. Okay? So everybody, are there any more questions? Let's see. When I click a listing landing page on one of my own listings, the same line doesn't pop out like yours. Yeah. Good question, Tucker. Did I hear you correctly? I am going to answer your question, Tucker, so just hold on. That if we're new to FB, our rates are going to be higher compared. Yes, Dennis. I'm going to answer that again. You're welcome, Andrew. Sometimes block is not turned black. Yeah, okay. That is not relevant, John, but I will answer that. So these questions are good questions, so I'd like you to listen, okay? Tucker has a good question. When I click on the landing page, it's not the same one that pops like yours. This is the one that he's talking about. This is a listing landing page, and this looks awesome, right? People get excited about that, and that's cool, right? But when I click on a normal landing page, and this is another one that looks cool. Let's see if I can find us the generic default one, right? The default one is the one that you don't like. Again, you can see any of your landing pages by clicking right here. There's a Google Facebook icon. And this page, as it comes up, oh, sorry, I've already been messing with this. Give me a second, that's not right. I had it up, I just can't remember where it is. Maybe it's here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is the default look of a listing landing page. The reason it is default is that the photographs that come in from the MLS are compressed. They're small. A picture to fill this whole thing has to be 1900 or 2000 pixels wide. A little bit bigger is okay. Smaller is not okay. It just won't even work. Okay? And in order to make that happen, let me look at this one. Acton, Naples, okay. So in order to make that happen, you want to click the virtual tour button and you want to upload a photograph that's big enough. When it's big enough, it's going to give you an option down here that says listing landing page. If it's not big enough, you will not see that button. Click the button, save the edits, and that will turn this default looking page into something really snazzy like that. Okay? Good question, Tucker. And Dennis, did you hear me right about the rates? You definitely heard me right. We see it over and over. If you have a larger budget on Facebook, consistently, Facebook gives you a better pay-per-click rate. So if you listen to the call by Shannon Pyatt, you'll hear him say, I'm doing all my ads at $1 a day. He's also running like 20, 30 ads at a time, all the time for $1, right? And he's doing it all the time. So there's this constant stream of money going to Facebook. So his pay-per-click rate is 7 cents a click. When you get started, it's probably 50 to 70 cents a click. So that is a true thing there, right? That is a true thing. Let's see here. Got more questions. And this is question time, everybody. Green and black. When I click on a listing landing page, it doesn't give me those landing pages. I think I just answered your question. Was there a suggestion on one webinar to use more generic FB page rather than Jane Doe Realtor? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? There's things like community pages, and you can test it out, Sally. I'll tell you this. We've got a lot of people using these ads, and they don't all know how to create a community page. They've just got their Facebook business page, and they're getting great results. If you want to test those kinds of things out, sure, go ahead. You might get better results. But I don't see it where it's really killing it. I know Shannon Pyatt's got a picture of his big smiley face right there next to every ad. And while it looks a little obnoxious, maybe he's just dominating his local area. So I don't know. You know, it kind of depends. You know, there's a thing about real estate advertising that you kill your advertising by 30% by having your picture on there. But I don't know. I see all kinds of things working. Okay. Yeah, you have to resize the pic. You need a bigger pic on this background picture, Anthony. And don't resize it. Don't take a small picture and make it big because it's going to look pixelated. So I'm going to answer an off-topic question, but it's a good question, so we'll answer it. And if you've got more questions, please load them up now because I'm getting ready to shut off. So there's a question about some of these buttons are green under here and some are black. Black means that they have already been done, and green means that they're not done. You can see underneath my YouTube icon, for instance, I don't have YouTube as black anywhere. But my e-flyers and Facebook ads have gone out. That means they've been emailed to me, okay? But I don't, because this is a demo account and these aren't real listings, I don't want these listings to go up to YouTube, so nothing is happening there, okay? And so that's kind of the key, right? If it's black, it means that they're up. They're up on YouTube or the tools are in your mailbox. If it's green, it means they haven't gone out. Okay. Are you saying, yeah, okay, thank you. I think your picture will give more recognition, especially for FISBOs. No. Yeah, I don't know, Jesse. I think, again, you got to test out what works more in your market. Sometimes it just, honestly, things are different from, we're all over the country, and it is astonishing how what works in one part of the country does not work in another. So you got to test out. Is there a way for all of us to pool our resources in using Facebook so they're paying less per click? No. How do we start just sold landing pages instead of just, if right here, you see how I've got active, coming soon, active contingent, just sold? I can affect that change by clicking the edit listing button, the blue button with a wrench and the screwdriver, and changing the status. It says select status to any of these statuses, okay? And that's what you can do. Change it there, and it'll change it. Is it possible for me to enter a virtual tour from an outside company by entering the URL to it? Yes, Cassie, yep. And actually, we're right on the same page where that happens. If the virtual tour is on YouTube, paste in the link right here where it says import property YouTube video, and then save it at the bottom, and that video will be integrated on the front page of the single property website, the virtual tour. It'll be a link on the e-flyers and the blog post. Okay, so for anybody doing, investment in video, you definitely, there's a lot of ways to incorporate it, so definitely do that. So if there aren't any more questions, I want to thank everybody for your time, because we've been doing an hour, and I know that's a long time for everybody. And I will be putting this up on YouTube and getting it out onto our Facebook pages. If you hang on a second, let me see if I can find my mastermind group, and I will. I'll get you the link to that again. Let's see. This page. No, that's the wrong one. Give me a second, guys. Well, it looks like my network is shutting down. Okay, well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully you got the link from earlier. I think my computer's getting bogged down here. So thanks so much, everybody, for joining me today. And we'll get this up online. Check it out on our Facebook page.